Hi everyone, welcome to Mint Canvas Studio. In this video, I will give you a full tour and tutorial on how to navigate and use our new Freelance Dashboard. This Notion template is a powerful system that will help you organize and streamline your freelance business, and it is designed to help you maximize your efficiency and stay focused on your daily activities. Let's dive in. First, let's take a look at the dashboard. Here you have quick access to every section of the planner, making it easy to navigate and stay organized. On the left, you will see an image that you can personalize. You can, for example, add your own logo or an image that inspires you. Right below, you will find the navigation bar with links to access the main pages. As you can see, the navigation bar is organized into three blocks. One is for your brand-related pages, one is for your client work and projects, and one is for the finance side of your business. The first link will lead you back to the home page. The last link will open a page containing links to the main databases. I'll show you later how to use this page to set up your dashboard for the first time. Below that, below the navigation, there is a synced block that contains useful links. You can, for example, place your website or any external page you tend to access frequently. Here I've placed a few example links that you can replace. Below the links, there is a small block, like a sticky note, you can use to capture quick notes on the go before adding them to your task manager, for example. If you don't think it's useful, you can simply delete this block. Next, let's take a look at the center of the page, where you will find your daily tasks and your upcoming meetings for the week. Below these databases, you have two buttons to quickly add tasks and meetings to your schedule. Below, you have your task planner divided into weekly and monthly views. This will give you a comprehensive overview of your daily activities for the current month, making it very easy to organize your workflow. The final database you see is a view of all active projects and the completed projects for the month. Moving to the right side of the page, you have first an aesthetic clock and below that your notification center. The notification center will tell you the current date and the number of tasks you have due for the day, the overdue tasks, how many active projects you're working on, and finally, if you have invoices due for the day, as well as overdue invoices, which we find very helpful to keep track of your payments. This notification center is an automated system that is connected to a number of databases. Below that, you have another image and an helpful quick action menu where you can easily add new clients, projects, accounts, expenses and earnings, as well as two buttons to start and end your work sessions. But more on that later. Now, let's take a look at the actual pages. First, let's visit the Brand Hub. This page collects all information about your brand. Here you can set your brand identity and voice, choose your ideal customer, and your brand mission. Whether your brand is already consolidated or you're just starting out, we think that this section is a useful exercise to establish your brand framework. Below these introductive sections, you will find the Brand Assets database. This is where you can input and collect all your brand-related files and graphics, such as your logo, your fonts, all the relative brand images, social media graphics, and brand colors. This database will help you save time by having all your branding assets ready in one place whenever you need them. Below the Assets database, you have your brand resources. This database serves as an archive for every tool or resource you use in your daily work and is a way to store important information about your brand and access it whenever you need. You will notice that we placed buttons to quickly add new pages to every database on all the pages of the planner. This is because it is much quicker and simpler to add data using this new Notion feature. Every database has one or more pre-made templates that you can use and edit according to your needs. We will show you how later. And that's your Brand Hub. The next page is the Business Hub, which is dedicated to the core of your business. Here you will find a database that stores all the services and packages you offer at the top of the page. This database is divided into three main views. The first is a gallery view of all your active packages with the corresponding services and prices. Then you have a view of the upcoming services that you maybe plan to introduce in your business. The last view contains all services. This view has your packages in the first column, for example, the e-commerce package or the web design and development. And the second column contains the individual services you may offer as a freelancer that make up each package. Then you have a property for the status of the package, active or coming soon. You then have a short description of the package and its price. The last property lets you select which service you have to or want to outsource, if you work with maybe other freelancers, for example. As you can see, this database contains example packages and services for a web agency type of business, but clearly you're going to edit this information and add your own services. And I will show you at the end of the video how to set up your dashboard. Below this database, you have your button to add a new package. Next, you have the client's testimonials database, which stores all reviews and testimonials you collect from your clients. You have a button to add a new review and a ready-made template that will allow you to easily input the testimonial also in a video form. The next section of this page is dedicated to goal setting and has a database to input your business goals, divided into active, completed, and all goals. You can also track your progress here and mark a goal as complete with the relative checkbox. Below the goals, you have the action plan, which is a database that stores all the tasks you need to achieve every goal. And it is connected to the goal database so you can track your progress with a formula. The first view lets you see all tasks. The second is your weekly task planner in calendar view. And the last view is your task list divided by goal to help you better organize your tasks. And that's it for this page. Next, let's open the Marketing Hub. Here you will find a section dedicated to defining your marketing strategy, following the template we have prepared for you. This template will give you an idea on how to set up and plan a cohesive marketing strategy for every stage of your client journey, and contains example of content you can execute. Below, you have the social media inbox, which is where you can brainstorm ideas and plan each post. Treat this table as a brain dump, where you can quickly capture ideas you want to implement in your marketing strategy. Once you have finalized your ideas, you can easily grab them and put them in your calendar below, using the 6 dots icon beside the name column, or simply set a date. This will automatically move your new post to the planner. Next, you have your weekly and monthly planners in calendar view. At the end, you have the platform overview, which is essentially a view of the content calendar grouped by platform. You also have a view of your sponsored posts if you happen to do brand deals and sponsored content. The content calendar database has pre-made templates for all major platforms and post types, including a newsletter template, for example. And you can use them and edit them to fit your brand needs. To access a template, simply click the new social media post button, input a title, and select your template from the list below. Give it a few seconds and you will have your template ready to edit. Every template includes useful information and guidelines for each post type. So, the next page is the Learning Hub. This page lets you organize every course or workshop you have for your business. You have all your active courses in the first table and all completed courses in the second. Below, there's a button to add a new course and a database containing all your courses. The first property is a checkbox to check if the course is completed. The second column lets you input the name of the course, the third the status, then you can choose the topic. And here I have created a few examples of topics, but of course you can input your own. Then there is the course type, for example, a workshop, a masterclass, or a full course. Next, you have your course schedule, which can be a period or a single day. Next, you can input your rating for the course and your notes. You can also upload files and media. And you can also input the course price if it's a paid course. And that's it for the education aspect of your business. Moving on, let's dive into the work-related core of the Freelance Dashboard. The first page you see in this section is the Project Hub. This is the heart of your freelance dashboard that contains all relevant information regarding your projects, as well as the client portal, which is a unique feature we designed within this freelance dashboard that we are sure you'll love. But more on that later. On this page, you have all your projects organized in different views. The first table is an overview of your project pipeline. Then you have the projects grouped by client and the archived projects. This board view allows you to see every project and its details. You can see the project's title, the client, the packages they have selected, the project budget, the payment status for the project. There is an automated progress bar to check the progress. And if the client asks for an add-on service, it will appear here with the add-on price. Below, you have the project's timeline that will allow you to visualize all your active projects with their schedule and due dates. Next, you have a task manager that will help you manage all your tasks for each project. The first table is an overview of today's tasks and will automatically display the tasks for the current day. Next are the weekly calendar and the completed task list, and all tasks grouped by project. Next, you have the documents. The documents database will collect all documents grouped by project. This will help you organize and access important documents. You can make use of the free templates we included in this database. To access a template, hover over the New button on the top right corner of the database, click on the down arrow sign and select the template you want to use. Of course, if it's a contract template, for example, we want you to know that this is not legal advice, so make use of this template, but of course, let a legal person check them before you send them to your client. Below, you have the invoices. In this database, you can create and organize all your invoices. This view is specifically organized by project to better visualize all invoices related to a specific project. The last column contains a formula that returns a checked box if an invoice is overdue or an unchecked box if it isn't. This will help you keep your finance in order. Whenever you receive a payment from a client, remember to fill in the paid date column or the formula will return an overdue alert. Also, this database and this formula specifically relates to the notification center that we have seen on the homepage of the dashboard. Before leaving this page, though, we will take a look at the bonus feature we have included in this template, the client portal. Every time you create a new project, you can generate a new client portal that you can prepare with all relevant information and share with your client. This page is an all-in-one solution to organize and streamline your client communication and will reduce the number of emails you have to send your client and will make it very easy for them to access all the information they need, including all meetings you have scheduled, all relevant documentation, and all files. To share the page with a client, click the Share button on the top right corner and insert the client's email. Let's now take a look at the portal structure. First, you have a brief introduction for your client, where you can include a short guide on how to use the portal and your email. Below, you will input the project's details, including the overview, the deadline, the deliverables, which is very important, and any useful resources like FAQs. Next, you have the upcoming meetings database filtered by client. Remember that the first time you set up a client portal, you have to make sure to select the proper client from the filter property to only see meetings you have scheduled for this specific client. Below, you have all phases of your project. The first lets you upload a brand questionnaire or an equivalent document. You have the business proposal and the contract. You will notice that there is a space to embed your copy of a document that the client can download, and then they can upload their signed copy on the embed space below. On the right column, you have a simple to-do list that the client can easily check whenever they complete a phase or a task. Below is the project development phase where you can upload presentations or drafts, and the client can give you their feedback directly. Next is the offboarding phase where you will upload all the final files. There is also a space for a goodbye packet if you have one. Then you have a licensing section, and most importantly, the invoices and payments, where you will upload the invoices for the project and will communicate your payment details or methods to your client. The last section is dedicated to the client testimonial or review, where the client can input directly their review. They can write directly in the space we have provided. And that concludes the client portal. We believe that this design is very easy for you to set up and for the client to navigate. So please make use of this template and personalize it to your own needs. And that's it for the Project Hub. Now let's take a look at the Client Hub. On this page, there is an overview of all your clients in every stage of the pipeline, from prospects to lost clients. Here you can access and organize your client list and keep track of your partnerships and projects. To add a new client, click the button below or select the new button below each column. To move a client to a different stage, simply grab the client's card and move it to another column. The client database contains a template that will populate every client page if you select it, and it will show all the meetings you have scheduled with the client, all the projects you have, active or uncompleted, and a task list related to each project. You also have a view of the invoice database that is filtered with the client information, so you can see all invoices you have sent to your client. Below the client pipeline, there is a view of the companies you're working with, and below is a view of your meeting calendar with a button to quickly add a new meeting. We have also included a page called Client Journey, which contains a template of a client journey that you can easily follow and customize to your own workflow. Now, let's move on to the Finance Tracker. Here you have a board view of all your accounts database. To add a new account, click the button and fill in the initial balance and the account's name. The information you see on the account card is automatically pulled through from the expenses, earnings, and subscriptions databases to let you easily access your finance information at a glance. Next, you will see the expenses and earnings databases. Here you can organize all your expenses, earnings, and subscriptions. These databases are filtered to let you access the current month's transactions, and this is done to better organize the page. But you can change the filter property to see a different period. You also have buttons to add new pages to the corresponding database. The subscription database has formulas that calculate your monthly and annual cost for each subscription, of course, depending on the billing type you select from the corresponding column. Now, to add a new subscription, click the button and set the renewal date in the specific date property. You can activate a reminder so Notion will notify you before the renewal date. You will basically get an email. On the renewal date, you can simply select a new date for the payment. This is the manual method to manage subscription. You can also automate this process. You can do this by using the new subscription template for each subscription you have and set it as a repeat template. To do that, let's create, for example, a new subscription template and give it a title and a price. Fill out the other information, then click Back to exit the template. Now, if you click on the New button again, you will see your new template. Click on the three dots beside it and edit this template. Click on the three dots beside it to edit the template and click on Repeat. From this menu, select the period you want this template to be repeated. For example, if for a monthly subscription, you will select every month. For a yearly, you will select every year. You can also select the start date and the time, but this is optional. Click on Save and then click Off. And now you will see a recurring symbol next to your template. So you have created a recurring template for a specific subscription. This will automate the renewal process, and you will see a new subscription entry every month without you having to do anything. So basically, Notion will create a new page for for the subscription you have created every month on the date you have set. Do this for every active subscription you have if you want to automate the entire process. This method will basically create new pages every month for each subscription. So if you have a ton of subscriptions, please bear in mind that with time the number of pages you will see on this database will increase significantly and can potentially slow down Notion. But that depends on your machine, on your computer, and depends on the number of pages you have in total. So it's a thing to consider, of course, but this is the only free method to automate this process for these subscriptions. Otherwise, you can simply choose the manual method and change the renewal date every month or every quarter or every year. Okay? Now, moving on, you have the previous month overview where you will find all earnings, expenses, and subscriptions relative to the previous month. You can, of course, use a different date filter to access information for a specific date or a specific period. And at the end of the page, we have included an archive section for the previous year. Now, this is the expenses and earnings databases filtered by the previous year. In this case, you can see it says 2023. But you can easily change it to 2024. So selecting the 2024 year and access all your transactions for the current year. We have chosen to use filters because filters are quite powerful in Notion, and in order to avoid cluttering the page with too many databases and too many versions of the same database. Because, as I said, Notion is very powerful and has this filter option that you can easily access and will let you see all your transactions for a specific period of time. Next, let's move on to the timesheet logbook, which will help you track all your working hours and create invoices accordingly. In the first table, you will see the total amount each client owes you and the total billable hours you have worked for each client. This view is automated and will edit every time you create a new time entry on the logbook database. Treat this view simply as an overview and not something you have to edit. The logbook section contains the actual database. The first column is related to the task database and will let you select a specific task you plan to work on. The last column is related to the client's database, so you can also select the client you will create the invoice for. To add a new time entry, click the button below and Start Time will populate. Choose the corresponding task and client and start working. Once you have finished your task, click the End Time Entry button and the End Time column will display the correct time. The hourly rate column is where you should add your hourly rate so that the formula can automatically display your total pay. Note that all the databases of this freelance dashboard have a default currency of US dollars. You can, however, set your currency by clicking on the total pay column, select Edit Property, and on the number format option, select your currency from the drop-down menu. The last section of this page is the invoice database organized by client, where you can create invoices related to each client. This concludes our tour, but there is one last page that we'll cover. The last page simply contains a list of all main databases that were created as a full page. The first time you use the Freelance Dashboard, open this page and navigate to each database to edit or remove the example pages we have created. It's probably quicker to just delete the pages and create new ones with your information. You can also change some properties like the currency, the services and packages, the prices, and so on. To edit a property on a database, click on the name of the property, select Edit Property, and make your changes. Here, as an example, I'll show you how to edit some properties. As for the other databases that don't appear on this page, you have to edit them on the page they were created. These databases are brand assets, services and packages, reviews, goal planner and action plan, courses, and finally the logbook. Remember to change the currency here as well if you don't use US dollars. We forgot to mention that the useful links block that you find on the homepage is synced with the block on the Brand Hub page. If you modify the block on one page, it will automatically edit the one on the other. If you want to delete the block from just one page, click on the six dots icon and select Unsync All. Then you can select Delete. To edit the images you find on this template, hover over the image, select the three dots icon on the menu that appears, and click on Delete or Replace. To change the text color, highlight the text and select the text color option. On the drop-down menu, select the color you prefer. You can also change the background color for the text. To replace the cover image of a page, hover over the cover, select Change Cover, and you can remove the image, upload a new one, link an image you find on the internet, or choose an image you like from the Unsplash library. And there you have it, a comprehensive guide to using the Freelance Dashboard and Client Portal we have created in Notion. Remember that the planner is fully customizable to fit your aesthetic and needs. We just recommend not to edit the formulas unless you are a more experienced Notion user. If you have purchased the planner and have questions regarding its use, or you have suggestions for us, leave us a comment below. We hope this planner empowers you to take control of your freelance business and helps you manage tasks and projects without feeling overwhelmed. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.